What's going on, YouTube? So, you know, where should I start? Um, I'm gonna talk about Bitcoin. I'm gonna talk about crypto in general. Um, the idea of uh, experiencing failure and losses, um, equating to monetary losses, financial losses. Um, because again, make this clear. I got to make this clear. This is not financial advice. Not in the least bit. It's never financial advice. It's about talking about what's real, I guess, to me, in my personal opinion. I've seen on YouTube many crypto enthusiasts, many crypto people talk about it, including myself. We share our personal experiences, we share our thoughts, we share our opinions about crypto. A lot of good information and a lot of information we could do without. There's a lot of positive and a whole lot of negative to go with this space, cryptocurrency. I've learned in my short life that losses don't necessarily have to become your reality. What do I mean by that? It's your mindset, I think, that's important. A person's mindset and what's your attitude, like when you experience something that's causing you to feel like a failure, or causing you to feel like you're not winning, you're constantly losing. What are your thought patterns that sort of mimic or helps you experience these losses repeatedly? How we think also contributes to how we behave and who we are. Crypto is no different. Crypto is no different. It's not cool to feel lost. It's not cool to lose opportunities. It's not cool to lose crypto. You feel like crap immediately, especially when you're doing things without having proper understanding of what it is that's going on, or when people just clearly exit scam, right? But I think you're knowing that when you lose, you give yourself room to win is where the change begins. What is it that you learned when you lost? What is it that you learned to make you feel like you failed? Because it's not over. It's not the end. What lessons that were there in those times when you lost to help you learn something so that you don't have to repeat those same mistakes again and make the same errors again, to prevent losing continuously over and over and over again. You're making room to win. Do it again, but do something different to prevent the future losses from occurring. If you had your Bitcoin, and you lost it. Were you hacked? Why were you hacked? Did you properly secure your Bitcoin? Did you leave your Bitcoin on an exchange? Did you, you know, give your private key away or to someone? Was someone able to pretty much hack into your system or whatever? If you know these things, if you could identify what caused you to lose, use preventive measures so that it doesn't reoccur, right? If you had your crypto in some type of platform, not understanding that the minute you relinquish your keys, you no longer have your crypto. So that's the first risk. It's already risky, so you assumed even more risk by doing that. So you can pretty much forget about that. Forget about that crypto. Don't depend on the 1% a day that you're looking to receive in crypto interest. Don't depend on that anymore. The minute you give it away, consider it gone. But when you hold on to these hopes and dreams of retrieving this 1%, whatever percentage of gains, and it doesn't happen, and they end up exit scamming, and you suffer this loss, and you become bitter and jaded, and you hold on to that negative energy, you're not giving yourself the opportunities that you deserve to change your thought and succeed by doing something else to block those mistakes from reoccurring again. Saying that people are addicted and stuff, I get it. When people say that, like gambling is an addiction, using substances are addictions, eating too much can be addiction. Addictions, cover a wide spectrum of things. It's not different from crypto either, especially if you were used to receiving, which I really do believe BitConnect created this euphoria, this insane level of madness, where people got so used to earning interest payments every day on their crypto, they're still chasing that same dragon in different forms, with different projects, with different cryptocurrencies, etc., 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 and you could never chase that original high. You constantly, you can never reach that point again. So move on. What is it that you did wrong? Learn from it and move on. Just move on and do something different. I'm not saying move on and get out of crypto. No. Go back to the drawing board. Create a different strategy so that you don't have to put yourself in a position to lose. That you have to put yourself in a position to be vulnerable and get exit scammed and then cry and be in pain and be butthurt, blaming everyone else except you. It's hard to accept that crypto is introducing a trustless system that eliminates the third party element in things. It's hard for people to wrap their heads around that, including myself, because for so many years I've been trained, and we have been trained, especially those who live in the Western world, have been trained to believe in putting your monies in the hands of someone else with the promise that they're going to secure your funds, that they're going to give you a nominal, low piece of interest that it also equates to nothing, but that your funds are secure in the hands of somebody else, of an institution, of a bank, some whatever custodian. will take care of your monies better than you. We've been programmed that way. Crypto came in to disrupt all of that. I remember I was in a chat recently. Um, it's called the Black Brain Trust, and I made the comment that because the gentleman was making an article, was reading an article, not making an article. He was reading an article about how, or he made a reference about how, it might be better for people to relinquish their crypto into like these fiduciary trusts or whatever, because with the whole changes that are taking place with Backed and Fidelity Digital Assets, creating these opportunities to support their institutional investors by holding on to their cryptos and whatever. If you don't have your keys, what I said was, if you don't have your keys, you don't own your crypto. And he was like, well, yeah, we understand that, but it's better to really have someone else taking care of it because you can't trust yourself. You can lose. That could very well be true. But this whole space is supposed to disrupt the whole element of trusting in anybody, not trusting in governmental structures or central banks, giving you your sovereign power back by having you own your own currency. If everyone today were to decide, you know what, they are going to cash out all of their monies in their checking and savings accounts at any bank at any given point, do you know they would not be able to do that because their monies are not in those banks? You would not be able to do that. Why is that? You have to deal with hypothecation. You have to deal with hyperinflation. You have to deal with negative interest rates now with these central banking legacy financial systems. Crypto is veering away from all of that. And then you have the element of being able to have your crypto and no one can take it, no one can confiscate it from you. But the trust aspect, you have to trust yourself. You have to understand that with power comes a great deal of responsibility. With power comes a great deal of responsibility. If we have this dollar, this US dollar, that is not supported by any gold standard, it's only supported by what the government tells you it's supposed to be supported by. It's only supported by this intangible thing called faith that people who use the dollar have to believe in. It's this piece of paper. You relinquish your power and your trust and you place it in this dollar or in this intangible element called faith. How can you not understand the importance of self-governance? How could you not understand why it's important to reprogram yourself? Because that's what crypto is doing. It's helping people to become reconditioned, to deprogram themselves from the way the structure has been set up for time immemorial, so that you can be able to have more control over a certain element of your destiny. A certain element of your destiny. And while doing that, there's a huge learning curve. And in that learning curve, you're going to make mistakes. Crypto is still in its infancy. Crypto is still, it's in its clunky stage. People are still, things are going to be created in crypto that we can't even fathom now. So to give ourselves, we have to sort of pat ourselves in the back. Those of us who are in this crypto space, and I've said this before, we are hardcore, rough, rugged, and raw, uncut, pure, courageous, revolutionary in our thinking. And no matter how you want to, even whatever it is that you think about crypto and how you use it, just know that this type of digital, intangible, visceral element that's out here that's actually changing lives as we speak. You have people in Venezuela who are mining Bitcoin just so that they can feed their children breakfast daily, because their national currency is so hyperinflated it's worth garbage. This intangible digital asset that's nothing but code that we can't physically touch is relinquishing the power over the structures that be, over the governmental elitists, the oligarchs, and handing that power over back to the people. It's a huge responsibility. It's a huge responsibility. It's a huge personal responsibility that comes with that. So when you're losing while you're in this revolutionary space that's in its infancy, on the flip side of that loss, know that there's an opportunity for you to gain. There's an opportunity that's right there for you to win. Whether you want to hodl, whether you want to trade, whether you just want to just be obtaining information in the background, whether you just want to study and learn, have conversations about this, engage in peer-to-peer transactions with your loved ones, or even educate your own loved ones about this, you're avant-garde. You're becoming more powerful within yourself and helping to empower others. And there's going to be opportunities where you make mistakes. No one is perfect, so expect to make mistakes. And when you lose, again, you're not a failure. When you lose, it's almost like a blessing, because it's giving you a chance to learn something so that you don't have to repeat the same mistakes again. I can't stress that enough. I can't stress that enough. If you have the mindset of creating projects, of developing projects, of marketing, of promoting, whatever, everyone has something to contribute to cryptocurrency on some level or whatever. You know who put me on to crypto? I'm going to say this before I end this video. A former colleague of mine, she was getting ready to retire. Okay, so that tells you she's a woman of a certain age. She was getting ready to retire. And she told me, she said, have you ever heard of Bitcoin? And this was back in 2015 when she brought this to me. That's why I've only been in this space for 4 years. And off and on, really, for the first 15 and 16, I was kind of like reading about it. I didn't take it serious. Because when she told it to me, she gave me two news articles from the Wall Street Journal, okay? So to substantiate her claims, she said, "Will, this is the thing of the future. This is the wave of the future." And I didn't take it serious. I'm like, cryptocurrency, what? This is shady. All they do is gamble with this, buy drugs, black market, dark web. So I really didn't take it serious. And she was right. Because each day that goes by, the blockchain network gets stronger and stronger and stronger. My point is this person is also my former colleague who introduced me to crypto. Even though she's not an expert, she's even technologically, she can't stand anything dealing with computers. She barely likes dealing with smartphones, period. She's the one that gave me that information about crypto, and I didn't use it like I should. She's also a leader in her own right. Anyone who's involved with crypto, consider yourselves a major player, especially if you adding something to the space that's beneficial to help it expand, to also add possible user adoption, to build a community, to offer something that's going to reward not just you, but others, everyone involved. My goodness, why do you think the government frowns upon crypto? Why do you think these central banks are frowning upon crypto? Because crypto is taking away the power from them and handing it back in the hands of the people in the most basic form, the basic level. And with that, Losses will be incurred. It's not a perfect thing. It's not a perfect system. Don't be afraid to lose. Just keep in mind, if you continue to lose doing the same thing, you might want to do something different. Change your thinking, change your thought pattern. Change what you engage in. Change what you listen to. Change who you're around. Improve your quality of your life. It starts with you. It starts with you. You have to trust yourself and trust in the code, right? Trust yourself and trust in this immutable code. It's almost like it was a gift. Whoever produced the gift, I don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but it's an opportunity that's there. That's helped change lives. And it will help to continue to change lives because it's growing by the day, by the minute, by the second. And it just can't be stopped. The only thing that could stop crypto from really um, becoming what it's meant to become is us if we don't use it. And then I think that'll be our biggest loss. Peace.